Hi all, it's Jan from the Jan Files. I hope you will subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. So we're going to talk about two things today, the war in Iran and Epstein. And so I'm going to start with the war in Iran because it is a war. I don't give a flying F what Trump or anybody else says. It's a war started by Israel and the United States to effect a regime change in Iran with the idea that somehow it's going to make the Middle East safer. That's not going to happen. I'm not an expert, but it doesn't really take an expert if you have any sense of history or you've done a little bit of research. So first of all, let's all figure out or focus on what is terrorism. Terrorism is the premeditated, unlawful use of violence or threat of violence against civilians, property, or governments to induce fear, intimidate, or coerce, typically to further political, ideological, or religious objectives. It is characterized by calculated, often asymmetric violence, distinguishing it from conventional warfare. Now, let's kind of look at terrorism from two different perspectives. As far as I'm concerned, ICE is a terrorist group. They are not following the law. They are terrorizing people. They are intimidating them. They are doing everything that they shouldn't be doing according to our Constitution. So we have a government entity that are terrorists. That's another word for, quote, Gestapo. Now, our entire government is functioning as a terrorist in the world. That is my opinion. We had terrorized Greenland and Denmark. They actually mobilized thinking that we were going to attack them. That is terrorism. We are now attacking another country without provocation. They have done nothing to us. And we are now attacking them saying we're going to effect a regime change. Well, folks, guess what? You do a little research and you find out the most likely people in power, should something happen to the Ayatollah, is an Islamic militant group. Not the Democratic students, not anything like that, but an Islamic militant group. So this idea of somehow this is going to make anybody safer, especially the people of Iran, especially the women of Iran, is like a joke. We have already seen that Iran is attacking Dubai, United Arab Emirates. So this war between Israel and U.S. and Iran has already spread to other areas of the Middle East. This is bad, very bad. And I don't see how there's any good ending to this. I don't see Iran surrendering. And even if the Islamic militant group takes over and they figure out something, because Trump's so fucking stupid, like he had the Taliban at Camp David, right? He's likely to make some sort of deal and will end up in another Afghanistan. And during the Iraqi war, where we shouldn't have been, we killed hundreds of thousands of Iraqis. We've already killed 40 girls in a school today. A war crime. It's not going to just be people in the Middle East that are going to lose their lives. There could be American servicemen and women who will lose their lives for no reason. No reason. And I'm going to tell you the same thing I say about Epstein. You must talk. You must have people you must talk to people, not just say it's wrong. Say why. Give them some points. Point out what has happened in the past. This is why history is so incredibly important. And how too few people even know what the fuck Donald Trump did in 2016. I mean, it's insanity. And this is the peace president, right? This is the guy who has the board of peace and wants the peace prize. This is not okay on any level. And we are terrorizing the world now, besides our own people. And we're quickly becoming like Russia. Quickly becoming like Russia. Especially with his attempts to shut down the midterm elections. And before I forget, I want you to go in and make sure that you're registered to vote. Double check that you're still on the rolls. Now, the voter rolls. There's a place you can go, vote.org. You don't have to put your phone number in, so you don't have to get texts. And I always have my one email that when I don't want to give my other email, I use. So you can do that, but it's free. It's vote.org. Go in and they will let you know whether you're registered to vote. So keep doing that. Don't let that go, and make sure that you tell other people you know to make sure they check, and keep checking. Okay? So the thing I wanted to talk to you about, Epstein. So it looks like the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, remind me to tell you my story about that one day, was investigating Epstein and friends, so to speak, for years on the orchestrating drug and prostitution networks, and also tracking the money. Okay, the money is really a key part of all this, because he made $1.something billion in wire transfer, he being Epstein. Now, there are a lot of banks involved in this. There are a lot of very, very wealthy people involved in this. And so this is a whole nother thing that's out there. Now, for an investigation to go on for years means there's lots of evidence, folks. And guess what? What is in the Epstein files in relationship to this is redacted. Surprise, surprise, surprise. So again, a whole nother investigation. And I know I've told you this before, but I want you to remember that Channel 4 News out of Britain did their homework, went in and looked at all the conversations between FBI and DOJ, et cetera, and figured out that we're not even close to 2% of the files that are out there, of the evidence that's out there. And that was in reference to the 6 million files. So that the 6 million files, according to them, is less than 2%. There is so much information out there. There's so much evidence. And, you know, how we're going to get it, I don't know yet. I'm hoping that there's a whistleblower, or that there's another government that has, Iran has supposedly said they have some of it. We'll see. But that's the way we get this information. Yeah, and also 9 FBI agents were fired last week because they worked on the documents case from Mar-a-Lago when Trump stole the documents and actually purportedly sold some of them. So there were 9 FBI agents that were part of that investigation that have now all been fired. I hope to God that one of them finds their balls or ovaries and starts talking. Blow your whistles, folks. Do what you can. You don't have a job to lose. Okay? You lost your job. So tell your story. And I'm going to keep saying that out loud. Tell your story. Where are the fathers and mothers that are within our government that might have a sense of how horrible it would be for anything like this to happen to their daughter or their son? Because that's what is mind-boggling to me. If I was there, well, I wouldn't be there, but, where are you as a parent? Where are you as a human being? And I kind of keep asking these questions. Where are you as a human being? We just killed 40 little girls, or 50, probably more. Today, we, the United States, we're responsible, folks. Just as when, Iran gets hit, the Iranian people suffer. If they start coming for Americans, it's because Donald Trump put us in that place. So I know, another day of outrage. I get it. I know it's hard. I know it's almost mind-boggling that Republicans still sit with their head up their asses, or their head up his ass. It's sad. It's infuriating. I don't know if anybody will, finally drop off the Republican and, turn the House over to the Democrats, because this is, whatever. Now I'm not making sense, so I'm going to stop. But stay focused. Stay with me. I will try to keep up with the news as best I can. I'm not trying to tell you all the news. I'm only trying to tell you what I find and think is important. So take care. Stay safe. Find some joy. Find some joy. Find something you can watch that make you laugh. Take care. Till the next time.